Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah. We're going to be looking at the order of the way the book was written. Number one, we'll talk about introduction. Al-introduction, I said al-introduction, sorry, al-muqaddimah. Introduction in Arabic is called al-muqaddimah. Muqaddimah ما يسبق الشروع ما يسبق الشروع في المقصد. A muqaddimah is something that you need like a preface. This is the first thing that you talk about before you get into the main maqsad, which is the main objective of the discussion. Why do we make introduction in our Islamic sciences? The ulama say for two reasons. Number one is tahqiq al-basira. Basira is to understand something clearly. Sometimes we have a vague understanding of the subject. If I ask you what is Aqeedah, and I ask maybe 5 or 10 of you what is Aqeedah, people can give you different definition, and you start hearing some funny things. Yeah, I have an idea. I have an idea of what Aqeedah is. But to make it clearer, but to exactly, so this is what we're going to be talking about in this subject is important. We say the tahqiqi al-basira. To get the real understanding. Then we say again, al-muqaddimah can also give us takmil al-basira. We have a good understanding, and the understanding is correct, but it's incomplete. The other aspect that we're supposed to add to this concept to give you the full understanding. So for these two reasons, we make a muqaddimah. Usually in every book, you give an introduction. And also, in our Islamic sciences, we have muqaddimah. Muqaddimat in Islamic studies are divided into two. And the first part is muqaddimatul kitab, which is written in every book, and what the ulama now call muqaddimatul ilm, the introduction to that particular subject. Muqaddimatul ilm, usually the ulama will not write it at the beginning of the book. They expect you to know it. And that's why I'm bringing this to perspective. In this lesson, I'm going to be sharing the Muqaddimatul al-ilm as a general subject. Then in the next one, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, I'm going to be talking about Muqaddimah of ilm al-tawheed, or ilm al-aqeedah, or ilm al-asma wa sifat itself. And those terminologies that I just said now will get clearer when we get there. There's something the ulama call مبادئ العلوم العشرة. مبادئ العلوم العشرة. The 10 foundational principles in every Islamic science. In a bit, we're going to be talking about some Arabic. Deliberately, I avoided talking about Arabic, but here we're going to need it. Why is this muqaddimah important? This mabadi al-ulum, this concept, why is it important? The ulama say without it, we find it difficult to have a complete grasp of that subject. They also say that it helps us in the study of that subject to be organized, to be focused. We should know, okay, this is what we should learn first, and this is the next one after that. This part that we learn maybe in the first lesson, how does it connect to the one that we learn in the 10th lesson? For example, it gives us a swar al-mutakamil, the big picture. The similitude of what we can give is like you're contracting an engineer to, you want to build a house. And the first thing, what do? You ask the architect for a plan. That plan gives you the bigger picture. Oh, why are you making that place small? Oh, it's a closet that we're going to put there. Okay, yeah. Before you see the closet, you have the big picture and you know where everything fits in. So look at it from that perspective. Because when we get into the depth of the subject, sometimes we are going so deep and refined and latif that you sometimes lose the concept of the bigger picture. So please put that in mind. Let's go. The ulama say what? Mabadi al-ulum al-ashra. Let me take myself out of the screen. Say I'll read in a different order. I'll read from the bottom and check the number here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll try to read slowly. It says, Ibn Dhikri at-Tilmisani, the great Maliki scholar, wrote in his book حصل المقاصد حق على طالب العلم أن يحيط بفهم ذي العشرة ميزها ينيت بسعيه قبل الشروع في الطلب بها يصير مبصرا لما طلب فأول الأبواب في المبادئ وتلك 10 على مرادي الحد والموضوع ثم الوادع والاسم والاستمداد حكم الشارع تصور المسائل الفضيلة ونسبة وفائدة جليلة. Those are the 10. Let's look at them one after the other. He says حق على طالب العلم. It is an obligation upon a seeker of knowledge أن يحيط, to have the grasp of, بفهم, with deep understanding of ذي العشرة, of the 10 that he mentioned above. I'm giving you the objective here before we mention the 10, and that's why I skipped the order in which you wrote it. ميزها unit, the importance cannot be overemphasized. بسعيه, it connects to his effort قبل الشروع في الطلب, before he starts to even study that knowledge. He has to know these 10 things. بها يصير مبصرا, it will give him clarity, بصيرة, لما طلب, of what he wants to seek. It says فأول الأبواب, the first door, the introduction, the مقدمة, في المبادئ, the preliminary, وتلك 10 على مرادي, there are 10 to my own opinion. It says al-haddu. Al-haddu means the definition. Al-mawdu'u, the themes, the general ideas that the subject is talking about, or primary components we're going to talk about. Al-masailu, the masail, the topics. Al-fadlu, the virtues of the subject, how it distinguishes itself from other sciences. An-nisba, its relationship with other subjects, is very, very, very important. This is the first 5. Let's go a bit deeper. Al-had, literally means like the barrier that separates something from the other. Al-had, that defines it. If I have something like this is the hudud. And that's why the Quran will say, وَمَنْ يَتَعَدَّ حُدُودَ اللَّهِ, the limit, the boundaries that defines it. If we say this, you say, this looks like a rectangle or something like that. How do we know it's a rectangle? Because of the shape and the angles of the boundaries. Al-mawdu', for example, to give a simple example, what's the general idea? For example, you're talking about medicine. You're talking about psychology. In medicine, I deliberately give that example because it's a beautiful one. In medicine, for example, medicine is talking about health. Psychology is also talking about health. But the mawdu' of medicine is different. Medicine is talking about the body of a human being. Psychology is talking about the mind of a human being. You see now. So when we're talking of medicine, you're talking about the body. Everything you're going to be talking about, the different parts of the body, how they relate, the blood, the veins, the muscles, the whatever. But everything as huge as medicine is all talking about the body of a human being. That's the mawdu'. Psychology is talking about the mind, how the mind connects to the brain, like that. Masail are all the simple issues that we're talking about under the mawdu. Al-fadl means, if you compare the science to other sciences, where does it stand? Is it, you remember one made categorization? Is it ulum al-aqliya? Is it rational science? Is it ulum al-naqliya? Is it what is gotten from the Sharia knowledge? Is it ulum al-maqasid? You remember that? Ulum al-ala? Is it, and all this classification I was talking about in the previous classes. And Nisba, how does it connect to other sciences? Is it a foundational science? Is it with respect to that? I will go a bit deeper to that. Let's have this. Al-Ism. Al-Ism is the name of the subject. The name of the subject. For example, in Aqeedah we say it is ilm al-Aqeedah, ilm al-Tawheed, ilm al-Usul, Usul al-Iman, ilm al-Asma wa Sifat. Over time, the subject is given different names. Like that. Al-Thamara, what is the result? Why should you study it? What will you get at the end of the time you're studying? Al-Hukm, what's the religious ruling? Is it wajib upon you? Is it something that Allah will ask you on the day of Qiyamah, or is it just a tool that will help you towards achieving that? You need to know the place of that subject. Like we gave example before, where in a time that everybody say, oh, tahfiz. What is the hukm of tahfiz al-Quran? Is it wajib? No. What's the hukm of learning Aqeedah? Wajib? Yes. It's a compulsory one. So knowing the rules will help you with prioritizing for which one should you learn first and which one should you learn after that. Al-Istimdad, where does it derive its sources from? Is it from the Kitab and Sunnah? Is it from where and there? Is it from logic? And the rest of that. Al-Wadi'u, the originator. There's no, here this word often confuses people. When we say originator, what are we talking about? It means the person who, or the first person who laid down the foundational principles. Who's okay, this is a complete knowledge on its own. This is something on its own. It is a complete subject. The Prophet ﷺ at any time did not sit down and say, okay, today, inshallah, the subject we're going to teach you, ya Sahaba, is Aqeedah, and tomorrow we're going to learn ulum al-tafsir. There was no distinction like that. The Prophet was just teaching. The Sahaba, or the people who came after them, were the people who figured it out. And that all knowledge is from Allah, but who was the person who put the effort to make it, lay the functional principles and make it distinct as a subject on its own. Sometimes it's the one who derives, who wrote the fundamental text or the primary text in that field of knowledge. Basically, that's the Mabadi al-Ulum al-Ashara. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أن يوفقنا لما يحبه ويرضاه. هذا وصلي اللهم وبارك على رسول الله. In the next one, we'll go into how those 10 principles, how are they defined in Aqeedah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.